dating many men is not maturity. This young man you're calling immature could be displaying the highest level of maturity by not sleeping around. So, I know you are saying you're mature because you're dating older men. That doesn't make you mature. In fact, maturity is not about age. Wow. Listening to this very fine lady speak, it just says a lot that we have some semblance of lack of identity because it seems that social media has made us believe that unless you have some things, then you're not complete. Now, of course, she wants like a 30-year-old because he's in employment. But I need you to understand one thing. No one will just give you money as if they're an NGO. They will give you money and you know you will need to give them something in return if you're not already giving them anyway. Now, I want you to realize this. I don't care what he tells you. He may make you feel like the most beautiful woman in East and Central Africa. But believe you me, he has told another 20 the same. Who, of course, he met on social media. Now, when you say he gives you 2,000 a week, that's very little money. He can do that to 7 other women. That's 14,000. That's nothing. Now, with 14,000, when he gives you money, you feel obligated to give him something in return. And it's not an investment, you're giving him your body. I'm just going to tell you as it is. None of you is giving back a toy car. You're giving back your body. Now you got to realize, if he's sleeping with you, the day he gives you 4,000, he'll want to sleep with you without protection. Now he's doing the same with another 7. Now you're 19. By 21, you have signed your death certificate. You understand what I'm saying? What I will say is, young lady, you're 19. But you made a comment that opened my eyes to something. You said, most of the guys you've dated, only one is your age, mostly 3, 4, 5 years. You are 19. When did you start dating for you to use the word most? At 16. At 16, you should be watching Cartoon Network. Now, this is what I will tell you. Allow me just to tell you some things. I'm not a very young man. I'm not old, but I'm not a very young man. If you met a 28-year-old on Instagram, first and foremost, I have issues with that 28-year-old praying at 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old people. It means his long-term plan is not with you, but his bedtime plan is with you. Now, he gives you 2,000. That tells me low maintenance. Is it worth it giving your body? Because the chances are, and allow me to say it without fear of contradiction, the chances are that you may have already compromised your body. Right? If you have, he has already got what he wanted. All right? And that is why, if you are honest, he will call you when he wants your body. He will not call you to give you his 5-year plan. He will not call you to give you his 10-year plan. He will not call you to tell you he's thinking of doing his PhD. By the way, what will happen, at some point he will leave you for someone his age, and then you will fall back for the men you're saying are too kiddish, and by that time, there'll be a woman who would have seen something in them and have already taken the men. So what will happen, and you're very intelligent, you're beautiful, the way you're speaking, you're very sharp.
Yes.
What will happen, this young man you're looking down upon will say you're already used up goods.
Susan?
And then when you say they're kiddish, I want to tell you something. And allow me to say it.
Absolutely.
Allow me to tell you something. Dating many men is not maturity. This young man you're calling immature could be displaying the highest level of maturity by not sleeping around. So, I know you are saying you're mature because you're dating older men. That doesn't make you mature. In fact, maturity is not about age. Ask that man what's his long-term, mid-term plan. These young men you're seeing here may have a 10-year plan.
Always have to slay. Senor.
Wow, okay. You want fame. The day you get there, I want to tell you this for free. The day you get there, you'll want to run away from it. My sister, you've said it's okay. No, let me deal with her first. You said you have a long-term plan. So maybe you want to build a mansion after having 20 other men. Now, what is the point of having a long-term plan while putting your health at risk that you may not be alive long enough to actualize your long-term plan? Right? She was very open and says point blank that you are using them. Now, I'm going to ask you a question to illuminate your mind to something. Would you today go to Koinange Street and sell your body? But do you realize that's what you're doing in an educated manner? So now, you said you will use them so you have a good hairstyle, you have good clothes. The ladies in Koinange Street use those men for money for the same thing. So it is the same business, different geographical areas. Now, what I want to encourage you is, if you know who you are on the inside, clothes don't make you.
Absolutely.
Identity is an inside job. You understand? You should have such confidence within yourself that if they give you a bad t-shirt, because it's on you, it automatically looks good.
And I think even on that, Robert,
you don't see any problem with giving up your body, as long as you get some money.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you follow someone, Nancy Mwai?
Nancy Mwai.
And she said clearly she's paid to do that, what you're following.
Yeah.
So you want to create a real life scenario for yourself based on someone else not so real life scenario. Now, if you're willing to sleep around, it means you have no value. Because as a lady, you must understand you are a diamond that somebody must dig deep to get to you. You understand what I'm saying? You're 19. You're 19.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something about men. The moment he sleeps with you, he's done with you. He moves on, right? Now, until he sleeps with you, he'll give you all the money you want. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Now, if you get 10,000 from him, your lifestyle is maybe worth 100,000 a month because you say you want a hairstyle every week. You understand? It means then you'll have to move to another man who has to give you money before he gets you to bed, right? And then once he's done with you, you move to another man. Now, I want you to think about this. After sleeping around with 10 men, and then you look at yourself in the mirror, you, yourself, and yourself. How do you feel about yourself? Filthy. Now, social media life. For example, if I ask you what kind of car do you think I drive? Or would you perceive I drive?
A Range.
A Range Rover, okay.
I can't afford a Range. I can't afford a Range. I don't even drive a Mercedes. I drive a Toyota. Very happy. Now you, because you perceive me to be like that, you'll want to be with so many men so that you keep up with my life, which is fake. I'm just a Luya man from Busia.
Okay, guys. So, on that note, we'll be right back. Here, you had a question behind there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stacy. My question goes to Robert. He actually said that it's not maturity to date many men. Is it maturity to date many ladies? And why should you castigate the girl child on having sponsors, yet very many men out here are Ben 10s?
The fact that I said that it's not maturity to date many men is because I was reacting to a lady. Now, if a gentleman told me they have many women, I would say the same thing. It's a value thing. The more people you're sleeping around with, the less value you have. And by the way, 19-year-old, close your legs. Your value goes up. So, don't be made by money. money reveals you. So it means if money reveals you, it means you are made by something else other than money, which is what values do you have? You understand? If I met you in secret and I say, jump into my car, and if it's a Range Rover, will you say no? Or will you say yes because you've seen leather seats, DVD, and you've seen a lot of money in the dashboard? Let me tell you something, and hear me, good young people. As long as he's sleeping with you, he's sleeping with 20 others. So don't get annoyed when you find SMSs. By the way, you should never get annoyed because you may have been number 16.
I like that she asked, why are we just castigating the girl child? And you rightly said that, yes, even men, it's not right to date many women. So what's been your experience on that? What have you lived through that if there's a young man watching, they can say, you know what, Robert, because you went through it, I don't have to walk down that path.
When I was studying in the UK, not Kisumu, United Kingdom, I had very many women. But I realized the more women I had, the filthier and the emptier I became. You understand what I'm saying? And the one thing that we had that you don't have, in your day and age, diseases are there like water. You do not have the privilege of sleeping around with more than 2 people. And by the way, you should not even be sleeping with one person until you get married. Now, I slept around. It didn't make me any better. In fact, during those times, my life was a mess.
Absolutely.
Now that I am not, and by the way, it's not that I'm not sleeping around because I don't have offers. I got news for you. I have offers like malaria tablets 3 times a day. But my values will not allow me, because by the way, every time you sleep with somebody, you release some negative things. You understand? When you sleep with a man, you take all the negative he carries. By the way, you take very bad spirits. That's why all of a sudden some of you love drinking tea. Look at the Luya man you slept with. You become like that person. Not going to take every responsibility, then you're not man enough to unzip your trouser. So that kind of responsibility requires a lot of maturity, you understand, and decency, and high levels of integrity. And as you're told, lady, let me just say something to you. You don't have to make the same mistakes your parents made. You understand what I'm saying?
Amy, are you listening?
So don't, in fact, I'm sorry, sometimes we use that as an excuse. So don't use it as an excuse, because it will mess you up and your mom will cry when life has become very difficult for you. You understand what I'm saying? And then there is a lady who said, and they're saying something, fame. What do you want fame for? Everybody says you want followers, you want to create a brand. If I ask you, what is a brand? You're all looking for fame so that you do what? And let me tell you something. 98% of the so-called celebrities you see on social media are broke.
It's a struggle.
The ladies you see posting photos in business class, how comes they never post the photos of the man? He's 90 and he's about to die. Then you want to be like that. Let me tell you, if you see me eating in a kibanda tomorrow, don't call me humble. It's because I couldn't afford maybe the 5-star hotel. So stop getting twisted. And this thing you're saying, fame, it is the reason you're compromising because you're chasing the wind. Be significant, fame will come.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But when I say be significant, what is your purpose for living? Not to show off your weave.
Yeah.
You understand? People tell me I love dressing, but that's not my purpose.
Yeah. I think what you're also trying to tell them is that fame is not a destination, it's a byproduct of something.
Fame is a poisoned chalice. There are more disadvantages than advantages. First and foremost, they will lie on you, lie about you, they will gossip you, they will plan your downfall.
Privacy.
When I say they're your closest friends. You lose your privacy. If I cough badly, those funny groups which some of you are in will start gossiping me. If my sock here was torn, it will be news. If yours is torn, you are just a Kenyan who is going about life. So when you're famous, you are not allowed some things. So let me tell you before you are desperate for fame, 90% of the famous people are trying to run away from the fame.
Absolutely.
Take it from me.
Yeah.
We act strong sometimes, but we break down in private. Let nobody lie to you that we enjoy the free tickets. Let me tell you, with every free tickets, every one function you went for free, there are 6 days of pain and sorrow. You don't know who to trust. Now, be significant. Once you get to your place of significance, which is in your area of purpose, which is the reason you were born, then you will become famous the right way. Followers. Followers on Instagram. I have, I think, 100 and something thousand followers.
Absolutely.
90% are not followers. They are enemies pretending to be followers, waiting for my downfall.
I mean, look at what happened to Kobe.
Yes.
Can you just talk about what happened
and
to
I'm
Kobe?
sure
Guys?
Kobe, some of her closest friends, opened fake accounts to abuse her. I was abused by somebody, and we investigated, and it took us to one IP address, meaning one person opened 21 accounts to abuse me. When we found out who it was somebody I was meeting not less than twice a week, having tea and lunch with that person. So don't get it twisted. I want you young people, stop looking for fame, stop looking for money. When you look for money, there are crazy men out there who are willing to sleep with you for 2,000 shillings. Young men, there are older women out there willing to give you money to sleep with them. And this young man sleeping with these older women, when their husband finds out, they will not call you for a meeting. You will be killed.
Okay. So, very, very candid discussion here tonight on Real Talk. Remember, this is a conversation that we cannot exhaust. So you can get on that hashtag, #RealTalk. Let us know what your views and comments are. And before we wind up, let me just talk to Gladys. Gladys, have we spoken to you today?
I want my kids, when they start going to school, to go to school like Banda, not to public schools, but private. I want to make sure, I know I will have kids.
What did you tell us you're studying?
Film directing.
Film directing. So what are you doing as a film director, Gladys, to ensure that your film work gets your kids to go to Banda school?
Trust me, my personal life doesn't have anything to deal with my school life. Yeah, I know how to put a balance between them.
I don't know who told you that when you go to those schools, you'll be successful. Now, some of the most craziest people went to the most expensive schools and are doing nothing but taking drugs. Now, let me tell you the school I went to. My primary school was called Musa Gitao in Thogoto. My high school is called Bungoma High School. Did you hear what I said? Now, it's not about the school you go to per se. It's about your willingness to learn. Now, somebody from a school in Busia or in Dederu can employ somebody who was in the most expensive school. I don't want to mention them. So don't get it twisted and think that the more expensive the school is, the better the chances you have in life. So I just want to rearrange your thought process. Trust me, I have counseled young men, or parents have come crying to me, and their kids are in those expensive schools where they have breakfast, bacon, sausage, and Weetabix. And let me tell you, some of the most astute citizens we have in this country are from what we call the less flamboyant schools. So don't think that anybody who is in a less flamboyant school has no chance in life. And by the way, even wanting your kids to go to those schools, it is fine. I don't think an investment of 2,000 a week from a man will help you get your kids to those schools.
Whoa, well, on that note, guys, I think, thank you so much, Robert, for coming on the show today. I hope to have you again on another episode, because I love that you guys have learned something from him, right? We are keeping it real here as always. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join the conversation on the hashtag #RealTalk. That's it from me, Tamima, tonight. Thank you so much. Until next time, this has been Real Talk.